What's up everybody, it's Video Game Greek back with another video. That's going to be a very special video because I'm going to be going over all my handheld systems that I own and a couple of my favorite games for each one of those handheld systems. Let's get started. First one that we have here is the Nintendo 3DS, and this one actually has a Zelda case on it, as you can see. This is the black one. This is the one I got on launch day, but very, very good system. And then I have another 3DS, and that is the Zelda Edition one. Now this is such a special system. I think this is my favorite looking system that I own. It's so cool with the gold trim and everything. But I'm not one of those crazy collectors that has to keep everything in the box. If I buy it, I want to use it and see it and play it. So those are my two 3DSs. My favorite game for the 3DS is Super Mario 3D Land. Now Nintendo did such a great job with the actual 3D in this game. It is awesome, and they also did a great job at progressing the actual Mario game mechanics in this game. It's just so good. They brought back the Tanuki tail, which is fun. They had the flower and all that good stuff. So it is such a good game. I mean, this is the game to buy for a 3DS. If you bought no other game and it's the only game you had for it for the rest of your life, you'd be content because you can run through this game 100 times. Even though it's short, you can still run through it a ton, and it's fun collecting all the gold stars and all that stuff. So anyway, that's my first system here. Next, we'll go old school a little bit with the Game Boy Color. Now these are my three Game Boy Colors. As you can see, this was my original one, and then these two I just picked up, for a couple bucks here and there. I just think it's cool to display the Game Boy Color with the other ones because the colors really match up well. My most played game on the system is Mario Golf. This was great golf game, very simple but hard to master, and those are my favorite types of games. Mario Golf, I still play it today on my SP. Pokemon, awesome little RPG. I mean, basic RPG, great game, must have, very addicting for the system. So check out Pokemon, it's a very good game. All right, next we have the Tiger, the Super Data Blaster by Tiger. Now this was a little handheld system that you could use to look up player stats and also Hall of Famer stats. Also, it had some games on it like 3-point shooting, dunk contests, and stuff like that. Horse, I believe, was one of them. You could message your friends who had other data blasters, and I think they had a baseball one, maybe a soccer one, and maybe a girl one too. I don't know really a lot about the girl one, but anyway, I know they had a baseball one too. So my favorite sport back then was NBA, and I still love it. But this was an awesome little handheld system to have. I think I had this when I was in 5th grade, so it was cool. I'll turn it on here. It still works. You can see fires up and everything. Has the date and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. All right, next we'll kick it new school again here. This is my PS Vita. Now I can't say enough about how good these graphics are. It is on par with the PS3 graphics, and I'm so excited to see what they do with newer games like Modern Warfare is going to be coming out and stuff like that, and other fantastic games. So what's the other Little Big Planet's going to be coming out soon too. So very excited to see what the PlayStation is going to do with those games and how great they're going to look on here. It's going to be great. And my favorite game right now for this system is Virtua Tennis 4. The graphics are fantastic, and the gameplay's fun. It's not as simple as it used to be, but it's pretty easy to pick up and play. The career mode is really where this thing shines, and usually in tennis, that's not where it is. It's usually just the like playing singles or doubles is where it shines. But this is actually the single player campaign. This is great. Another game that I have to mention is Dungeon Hunter, and I love action RPGs and leveling up and grinding and stuff like that. So this game, even though it got the worst reviews, is probably my most played game now that I think about it, and just leveling up and grinding. And the online chat and everything in this game is stellar. It's like so good. You can just go on and play with kids from like Canada or whatever. And it's just so much fun to hack and slash your way with a bunch of buddies. So check out Dungeon Hunter Alliance for the PS Vita. Don't let awful reviews steer you away from this. All right, next, Gamecom by Tiger. Wow, this gets a lot of heat from everybody, and it should. This game system sucks. Like, it's terrible. No backlight. It's gray and white, or gray and black, I should say, color, and then it doesn't do much. It did say you could do email, I think, and maybe get online or something like that, and also has a phone book or directory or something like that. And the games for this sucked. Jurassic Lost. I mean, I don't even think this thing's playable. But what I did play the most on this is the game that is built in, and that's Solitaire. So I played a lot of that. It was fun, but just this didn't get a lot of play. I think I got it on like the clearance bin, $15 when it was like at the end of its life. But anyway, I wouldn't recommend this, but it is easy to collect for and stuff like that. So. You could start collecting for it and get a pretty good collection going because it's so cheap. Now another Tiger thing that I want to talk about here is Virtual Cop. Now this is like a pretty unique system, right? It comes with a little light blaster. I'll turn it on here for a second. So by Sega, right? And it's a handheld. I think it's a little startup music there. Anyway, just like your basic Virtual Cop game, you can see them kind of pop up there. But anyway, not that good, but it's good enough that you can. As for a kid, you use your imagination, and it's pretty fun. Alright, next we'll stay with the old school here. This is my oldest system that I own. This is football. This was actually in the one episode of Seinfeld. But this actually, believe it or not, is an addicting game. The gameplay is actually really good. There's just dots on a screen. You have one dot on the left side. There's like 6 dots on the right side, and you have to run past them. And it's pretty addicting. So anyway. If you can find this game for cheap, I don't know how collectible it is or what it's worth or whatever, but it's pretty good. It's not a bad game. Yeah, we'll stay old school again here. This is Baseball by Radio Shack, and this is actually, these games I wasn't huge on, but like the gameplay on is pretty fun because like you can see the pitcher coming in. He's gonna like throw a pitch, I think, and there's the fielders and stuff like that. And anyway, you gotta time it right. You gotta figure out if it's gonna be a ball strike, and you can see there I had a hit there. So what was that? He's going double, triple. All right, so I just hit a triple there. Look at that. But anyway, so it was a good game by Radio Shack, I guess. But anyway, all those old school games are pretty cool to take a look at. And alright, let's go a little newer with the Game Boy SP. Now I played the system a lot. This is a very good system. Here's my red one. But it's really interesting. Like this, I got this one first, and the screen, for whatever reason, just does not look as bright as this one. And I don't know why that is. If it's like a newer model or what, I should probably look at like the back of these and try to figure that out. But anyway, love the system. I still play a lot of Game Boy games on it and Game Boy Color games, but my most played game on this is Donkey Kong Country. This is just a great port. I mean, and this game was fantastic for the SNES, and it's just as good. I mean, it's the same game. It's just great. I love this game. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's the best platformer out there that you can pick up and play. All right. Next, here we go. This is Road Rash, the handheld system. This is a pretty cool little old school handheld system. Unique. I think they made a couple of these looking games. I can't remember what the other ones are by Tiger, but I don't know. This doesn't. Yeah, I don't have probably batteries in it. But anyway, it would come up there and you just steer, and it was just like a Road Rash game. So. It's pretty cool that Tiger got all these licenses to make these games. But all right, next, Nintendo DS. Here's my original Nintendo DS. Okay, and then here is my DSi XL. Now, I would definitely recommend getting the DSi XL. I mean, if you don't have a DS yet, I mean, just go out and do yourself a favor, get this one. You don't have to necessarily get this special edition one. You might be paying a little extra for that, but it is kind of cool. It's got like the best looking red on it, and it's really cool. I mean, it's a special edition one, and down the road it'll be really collectible. So it's probably worth buying this one now and spending a little extra for it. But now I have so many favorite games on the system. I'm just gonna run through them real quick and not talk about them that much. Toy Pop Fever. It's like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and it's like one of my favorite games for Sega. Under the Knife is like a quirky little game where you're a surgeon and you're in the ER and you're using the stylus to suture people up. It's a great game. Children of Mana. This doesn't really get a lot of credit for being a good continuation of the Mana series, but man, it's a great hack and slash, so check it out. Very similar to Dodgeball on the NES, so this is a great game. Very good. Great progression of the Contra series, really. brings it back to the basics. It's great, awesome. I mean, these are very obvious reasons why I picked these games. They're both fantastic. Okay. All right, next. Now, I recently put up a video on my top 10 Game Gear games, and Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse, is my favorite platformer and probably the best platformer on this system. But yeah, it's by far the best game, and most time I spent with any game on this system, so it was cool. All right, getting down to near the end here. Game Boy. I got this a little later. I think I was in 7th grade when I actually got my first Game Boy, which I had like better systems before that, but I picked it up used, and I really liked it. It was good. This is Super or Operation C, so it's a Contra game, so it plays exactly like a Contra game, so it's great. And then next, I love DuckTales. I love the Disney Afternoon, and DuckTales is a great game. I have both for the NES, and they're just fantastic. So, I loved it for the Nintendo Game Boy there. All right, PSP. Love the system. I have this one modded so I can play all the NES games and all the Sega games and stuff like that. I'm not huge into emulation, but I love being able to be on the go and play all my Nintendo and Sega games and Super Nintendo games and save them. It's just great. So if you like that and that sounds good, these actually play very well, and it feels like you're playing them on the console versions, unlike sometimes when you play them on the computer and stuff. So try to get that. And my favorite game for the PSP is a great action RPG, and that's Untold Legends. And this is the sequel to the Untold Legends. So the Warriors Code. It's a great game. Another handheld here. It's the Sega Nomad. This is, geez, how cool is it that Sega came out with a system that you can play Sega Genesis games on? Man, it's like, it does not get cooler than that. I have the game pack on the back of that. And then you could also plug it in the wall, and you can plug it another controller on the bottom, so you can play without plugging this thing into the wall. You can play this multiplayer sitting next to each other. Like, I mean, I played this Dr. Robotnik's in high school with my best friend all the time. I know that's nerdy, but it was so much fun to kill 20 minutes at the end of lunch and just play Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and that's my favorite game for this system. Now, not necessarily for the Sega Genesis, but for this system, that was my favorite game because I played it the most on this system. So that was really cool. All right, now the last thing I'm going to talk about is the. Now, I don't know if this is really a handheld system, but the Virtual Boy is such a cool system. I mean, I guess you could say it's portable, right? So you could say it's kind of like a handheld. And we're by 2 games here. All right, first we have Mario Tennis. That's an obvious reason, but Wario Land is one of the reasons to get a Virtual Boy. It is just stellar platformer, one of the best, and it uses the 3D in this really well. I mean, it kind of has, like, you play in 2 planes, one in the front, and then one you can kind of skip in the back, almost like the new Donkey Kong Country Returns does. And it's just the mechanics of it are fantastic. Anyway, guys, that kind of concludes my handheld systems. Let me know what are some of your favorite games for some of these systems, and if I missed any must-have handheld systems. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.